Football, the world's most popular sport, faces an existential crisis. At its heart lies the transfer market, a system that has spiraled out of control. This market, once meant to facilitate player movement, has become a breeding ground for financial instability and inequality. The pursuit of victory at any cost has driven clubs to spend exorbitant sums on player transfers, creating a chasm between the haves and have-nots. Clubs, desperate to compete at the highest level, engage in bidding wars, driving transfer fees to astronomical heights. This financial arms race has created a climate of short-termism, where immediate success trumps long-term stability. Smaller clubs, lacking the financial muscle of their wealthier counterparts, find themselves perpetually disadvantaged. They are unable to compete for top talent, creating a two-tiered system that stifles competition. Players are treated as mere assets, bought and sold with little regard for their well-being or aspirations. The beautiful game, once celebrated for its passion and community spirit, risks becoming a soulless business driven solely by profit. The transfer market's impact on clubs is multifaceted and devastating. While a select few elite clubs with vast resources may weather the storm, the majority face a precarious financial landscape. The pressure to compete with the financial elite forces clubs to gamble on expensive signings, often financed through risky loans.
Smaller clubs, already operating with limited budgets, find themselves caught in a double bind. They are priced out of signing established stars and are forced to sell their most promising talents to richer clubs to balance the books. This constant drain of talent stifles their progress, perpetuating a cycle of inequality within the sport.
Players may find themselves forced to move to clubs they have no desire to play for, their personal ambitions sacrificed for the financial interests of others. The mental toll on players cannot be underestimated. The transfer market, instead of facilitating player movement and development, often becomes a source of anxiety and instability in their lives.
The transfer market's impact transcends the boundaries of sport, affecting communities and cultures around the world. Football clubs are more than just businesses. They are social institutions, deeply woven into the fabric of their local communities.
When players are treated as mere commodities, their emotional connection to the club and its supporters weakens. The days of players spending their entire careers at one club, becoming local heroes and symbols of community pride, are fading. This trend undermines the sense of belonging and shared identity that is integral to football's enduring appeal.
The transfer market also contributes to the over-commercialization of football. The result is a relentless bombardment of advertising and branding, eroding the authenticity and integrity of the game.
The abolition of the transfer market may seem like a radical proposition, but it is a necessary step to safeguard the future of football. By removing the financial incentives that drive excessive spending and exploitation, we can create a more sustainable, equitable, and enjoyable sport for all. Instead of funneling vast sums of money into transfer fees, these resources could be redirected towards initiatives that benefit the wider football ecosystem. Investing in youth development, grassroots programs, and community outreach initiatives would create a more inclusive and sustainable model for the sport. Clubs could focus on nurturing talent from within, fostering a sense of loyalty and belonging among players and fans alike. Without the burden of transfer fees, clubs would be freed from the pressure of short-termism. They could prioritize long-term planning and stability, building competitive teams through shrewd scouting and player development. This would create a more level playing field, giving smaller clubs a genuine chance to compete. The abolition of the transfer market would also empower players, giving them greater control over their careers and destinies. Football stands at a crossroads. Abolishing the transfer market is a bold but necessary step towards reclaiming the beautiful game, restoring its soul and ensuring its enduring legacy for generations to come.